Greetings, it's Alex for the Shelburne Freelancer. I'm at Shelburne Town Hall right now with Councillor Walter Benotto, who just recently filed his papers. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Alex.
And I was just wondering if you could share with our viewers some of the platforms you've helped get achieved while in council in the past and why you want to run in the future.
I've sat on the fire board as chair for the last year, and in the past I've been chair of the Center Dufferin Recreation Complex. I sit on the Economic Development Committee, the Accessibility Committee, the Dufferin Board of Trade. So those are just a few of the committees that I sit on. The accessibility is one that I ran on originally many years ago. I helped start the committee. I actually did start the committee. The council was very generous at the time in the day to allow us to have a committee because we're not a population of 10,000. So they were pleased to have that committee in the town to address the accessibility issues. And that's something that I've been working on for many, many years. And I feel that there's still a lot of work to be done in the future due to the fact that we're still not there. In this town, we have a lot of seniors, we have a lot of people with disabilities. It's more than just street curbs and accessibility signs for parking. There's also housing issues. We don't have any what they call universal homes yet in the town where a person can go when they are younger and live there until they're ready to move into a nursing home, or even prevent them from moving into a nursing home. So that is one of the issues we've been working on for with the different developers, and I thought I had a couple of developers that were very interested in it this term. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, they still haven't panned out for me. Affordable housing is another issue that we're having problems with in this town. Prices of housing has gone up that has created an issue for some of the people with accessibility issues. So that is one of the platforms I'd like to continue running on and continue working on in the next term. Economic development is another issue that we have in this town. Well, the town is growing, and there is a lot of new residential growth within the town. We don't have a lot of small industry or a lot of commercial yet that will employ people within the community. So again, that is something that needs to be worked on and continue to bring it forward. And that's one of the reasons I've been sitting on the Economic Development Committee for a lot of years and working at that. And we need more employment land in the town with the ability to continue that part of that growth as well. The other issue is our fire department. Our fire department is about 30 years where it's basically been housed in the same building. It has had volunteer firefighters, and we only have the one full-time fire chief who does fire inspections. And what we're starting to learn that it's getting harder and harder for them to meet their daytime quota when they go out for fires. And currently even housing the equipment required is becoming a bit of an issue. It's really tight in the fire hall. So that is another area that needs work within the future council, some thought process as to how we're going to be able to work around that. So the other issues that have come up and will be coming up in the future is our infrastructure. We still have a lot of infrastructure needs. We've done a lot in the past. We fixed up streets that were poorly designed back in the 70s, but we have other infrastructure needs that need to be met within the future council. The unfortunate part, though, is we have a lot of budgetary restraints that will be on us for the next 3 years as well. So there needs to be a bit of continuity on the council with the explanation of where we've been and what we may need to do in the future to get to where we need to go. So again, that's another reason why I put my application in for councillor for this term as well. Final thing I can say is I worked well with my fellow councillors over this term, especially with Wade Mills, Steve Anderson, Dan Samples, the mayor, Ken Bennington, Randy Chambers. I sorely miss Tom Egan, who was a very, very wise and sage person to take advice from. And Jeff Dunlop has also been a very good friend to me. And I enjoyed throughout working with our former mayor, Ed Pearson, as well.
I was wondering if you could just give our viewers a little bit of insight on how important is it every election to have someone representing council from the past election, somebody with a little history. New blood is fine and everybody's really excited about having maybe some councillors that are new to Shelburne represent the town, but how important is the history aspect?
Well, it's basically, when I first got on council, we had members on that council that had been there for a while. And it took me the better part of a year just to catch up to what was required, what was needed, what had happened in the past. And it's not like you speak up and talk about issues because you're not sure how to put forward your point of view necessarily or have it accepted by fellow councillors. Even writing motions, it takes a while to learn how to write a proper motion to make sure that it is not, as my Ed Pearson used to put it to me, not a wishy-washy motion. It has to be a very firm motion stating exactly your intentions. So it takes a while just to learn that. So there's a huge learning curve just to learn how to be on council. And having councillors that have been there in the past helps out a lot because you learn from their experience and from their having been on council in the previous councils. They not only impart what has happened and the history behind what's happened, but also why it happened and why we're going in whatever direction we're going in. So the continuity of having some membership that has been there for a while is extremely important.
Lastly, I've been asking everyone who I can video interview, but people, it's on their minds that Shelburnites want to know, are you, as councillor, after the Fiddle Park sale proposal, are you planning on listening to the public, or are you hoping that as a council moves forward in the new term that you could just make the decisions for us?
I never make decisions without listening to the public. That is part of the reasoning. You listen to the public because they tell you not only their feelings about, say, the example of the Fiddle Park itself and what they feel the usage of the Fiddle Park, but sometimes they also give you another point of view. And I got a point of view which started me thinking in a different direction in regards to the isolation of that particular community if it had been built compared to our other communities. It would have been a totally separate, almost, community compared to the rest. And I hadn't thought along that process until you get talking to people and you start listening to them and you start getting another point of view, and then you start thinking down a different track and you start understanding it. So always listening to people. I don't believe that the sale of Fiddle Park should ever go forward at this point in time. I've talked to my fellow councillor Wade and to staff about seeing if there's any way we can take it out of the built boundary, because currently it's within the built boundary. Any council will always get a proposal to build on it as long as it stays within the built boundary. So I'd like to see it removed from the built boundary and put the built boundary and another part of another side of town, which we do have land which could be built on if there were proposals to come forward to build on. And that way there, changing our official plan for that park and changing the county's official plan in regards to that park would eliminate that from possibly ever happening again.
That is an excellent suggestion. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Alice.
And have a great day.
You too.